Hello miners, this is Neil Greenleaf Stockton, and I'm going to show you today how to set up LBML to work with Entropia Universe. First thing you need to do is go to the LBML homepage. This is a tool designed to help miners. You can map your claims on the map, and it's got a lot of cool stuff, helps you mine better. So it's approved for use with Entropia Universe by MineDark. First thing you want to do is sign up for an account and download the installer. Actually, I don't think it's an installer, it's just a zip file. If you need to download DirectX or Microsoft.NET, I believe it will prompt you to do that when you need to. Let's see, there's also a guide here that I'm going to go through most of these things. There's one exception, and that is where it talks about the size of the mini-map or the radar. You don't want to fully maximize it. Okay, this was written for a previous Entropia version. I'll show you how to find the proper size. Okay, once you've downloaded the program, it will look like this. This is the main window. I'm going to walk you through the settings here. First you need to set up File, Settings, Auto. Make sure these three are checked. You want to input your name, and I believe when you start this window up the first time, it prompts you for your login credentials, and those are the mining log username and password, not your Entropia Universe. Shouldn't use the same one for both. Okay, LBML has two settings, manual and auto. Hopefully you can use auto if you have a software conflict or whatever, and it's not running in auto. You can use LBML in manual mode. Here you have the buttons that allow you to control it manually, and you can also set keybinds for those. Just click set and then press the key on the keyboard that you want to control. Make sure it's a keyboard that's not set in Entropia. Okay, the icons here on the right, this is your map, and you can insert a map, a custom map for a planet here in your LBML folder, wherever you've downloaded it to. Inside there is a maps folder. You can insert any map as long as it's the right size and it's in .bmp format. It also needs to be named Arcadia_map.bmp or whatever planet you're adding. Okay, we'll have the filters window next. That on the right side here where it says run, you'll want to check this top checkbox. This will hide all drop locations that were made more than 24 hours ago, so that you have a nice clean map. You can you don't get confused where you dropped or not. There's other filters that you can use to filter the claims. Helpful if you have a large number of claims. Okay, and the date filter you can set to today. It's very convenient. Size, filter your claims by size to what shows up on the map. And type, of course. Ores or end matters. Treasures are located at the end of the end matter list. Maybe in a future version they will get their own list. You can display different planets without having to go to them. That's it for the filters menu. The next button is setup. You want to change the ore radius, or all of the radii to 55 meters. I believe the default is 54. 55 is going to fit most finders. You can find the stats in the info window of the finder you're using. Cost is not critical. Each ore drop costs 100 PEC plus finder decay, which I have here is 3.3. I think that's for my TerraMaster 4. I generally just ignore cost because I keep track of it manually. The next button is the Run menu. You have a list of all your runs. And okay. You can start and stop a new run. I'm ready to start a new run. You can also title it. Okay. Notice that treasure is not marked separately here. You'll see that as I go, as I drop a couple probes here for you. Okay, LBML, I believe, is set up properly. The next thing to do is to go to the client loader, under Tools, Options. Make sure English is selected as your language. The reason for this is because LBML does look at your chat log, and if your chat log isn't in English, it can't read it. Okay, now we're ready to go to the actual program, and good, it's still running. I've had a little problem. This is like the third time today I've tried to record this because Entropia is not... Actually, it's Windows 8 that's the problem, but hopefully it'll work this time. Okay, now I have Entropia running. The first thing to do is to go into Settings, HUD, and you want to enable main chat logging. You probably also want to disable your loot windows. You don't have to, but if you have a smaller screen, it really helps getting rid of that big loot window. In graphics, you want to make sure Entropia Universe is not in full screen mode. Choose a windowed resolution that's appropriate for your screen. It'll give you a big enough game window and allow you to see the LBML map alongside. Turn anti-aliasing off and wait for VSync should be enabled. General graphics quality needs to be medium or higher. Now it's possible to get LBML working with less strict settings, but use these to start out with. Okay, medium, at least medium, remember. Medium, high, very high. Okay, the other thing to do before we close the... Well, I guess we can close that anyway. All right. Now, the first thing to do is to check whether Entropia Universe is checking your chat log. Now, after you've made all these settings that I just showed you, you may want to restart LBML and Entropia Universe to get them in sync. Sometimes that's necessary. Mine should already be in sync, so I'm not going to restart them right now. First, what you want to do is hit P. This will center the LBML map, and you'll see a circle. This radius here is 55 meters, corresponding to the radius of the search radius of your finder. Yes, I hit P, and it locates me. Now, the next thing to do is to open your options window again. We're not going to change any options, but we're going to just use that as a easy guide to find the right size for our radar, okay? Now, in previous versions of Entropia, this was the maximum size for your radar. It starts out like here. This was the maximum size. Well, not anymore. They made it so you can change it really big. So, what we want to do is we need to get it exactly right. It has to be just the right number of pixels across in order to read. So I'm going to put it maybe slightly different, and I'm going to show you. Okay, now you can see the position circle is moving. Okay, well, now it's not. So chances are it won't be moving when you start out. What we want to do is move, resize the radar so that it lines up with the left side of your options window, and then the right side comes over to the edge of the default button. Now that's approximately the right size. You may want to make it slightly smaller and see how the circle just jumped. That means it is now reading my position from my radar. Okay, my radar is now too small. Circle is stuck. Once I get it to just the right size, it'll start moving again. You want to make sure your radar is not hidden. It no longer follows. Has to be on top. Make sure it's well separated from other objects. Okay. Now the next thing to check is whether it automatically detects your drops. So I'm going to equip my finder, make a drop, and watch what happens in the LBML map. Okay, I didn't press a key to mark those drops. If I was in manual mode, I could hit this button and that button because I've got or and matter both in that drop. But I didn't need to because it automatically read this window, which also needs to be well separated and not overlapped by something else. So it's automatically marked my drops. I'm going to keep running until I find a claim and demonstrate how a claim is scanned. I just leave my inventory window open, and all of the deeds pop up here right next to the ped card. Now, if LBML is not reading your screen, you may need to, and you're using Windows 7 or Windows 8, you may need, well, no, sorry, if you're using Windows 7, you may need to disable desktop composition in the Entropia Universe application. You right-click on it, choose Properties, and then it's under the Compatibility tab, I believe. Other problems you might run into are Avast antivirus program. It has LBML registered as malware, just because of the way it operates, and it isn't malware, but you can disable that warning by going to Avast, Antivirus, File System Shield, Settings, Exclusions, and here add the path. Click Browse and add the path of the LBML folder, and it won't scan that folder, so then it will allow you to run LBML. Okay, looks like I found a claim. Now notice LBML doesn't read the claims from here. Doesn't read it from the Finder window. It reads it from the claim info window. Oh, one step I forgot. You can see it plotted the claim here along with a expiration timer. Now, the other step that needs to be done in order for this window to be scanned, you need to come down to any info window. It doesn't need to be a deed. It could be a gun. Okay. This little scroll button here. You come down to the one that says Show Item. Now that toggles the item picture on and off. You want it to be off, because if it's not, this claim deed interferes with the scanning. So make sure there's no pictures in there, and you'll be able to scan the deed. Now I have all my tools on hotkeys on the keyboard. Equip Finder, Equip Rock Ripper, Select Next Target, Auto Use Tool. The only thing I really need the mouse for is to double click on and open the claim. Okay. Now, as you can see, I have found a claim, and it was at the edge of my search radius. Let me see if I can find another claim. Now, LBML, oops, got an error here. The basic operation allows you to see whether your search radius overlaps a previous search radius. Now, we know for certain that there is no OR claims in this circle. There's no more OR claims because your finder always finds the first claim it comes to. So it would be pointless for me to drop right at this location because I'd be wasting a fraction of my probes on that search radius that I already searched. So I'm going to drop here. So when you drop in LBML, make sure that your drop circles, which are the solid ones, do not overlap. And that is the basic functioning of LBML. Now, you could also have some problems if you're unable to scan. claims, either manually or auto, bring up a claim, hit scan, and if it says failed to read image, what you do is you go to your LBML folder, and in the errors folder, navigate down to your current date, and it'll have a screenshot of the screen. I don't know if you can actually see that because of Windows 8, but there's my screenshot, and you want to take a look at that and make sure all the elements, the window, the radar, are all clearly visible. The other thing you need to do, oops, I have lost my claim. Let me find another one. But anyways, you can use this picture. If this picture is all black, then the chances are you need to disable desktop composition. You can't do that in Windows 8, but you may need to in Windows 7. If it's all, the other thing that might make it all black, I mean, you know, I think there's probably multiple things, but the things I've found solutions for is programs that record your screen, such as TeamViewer or PC Monitor, remote viewing applications, basically. You want to disable those. Those are probably not going to work with LBML. If you're getting black screenshots, that could be the problem. There's a lot of other things that could go wrong, but hopefully it will work for you. Now, when you find a claim, if I don't find one here, I'm just going to demonstrate with a different info window. Okay, found one. Now, see what I did? I opened this claim, and see how it's not scanning? That's because I real quick clicked on the inventory or something else, so that this claim is no longer dark. I move the mouse over it, and then it can read the claim deed. Okay? Light doesn't scan well. Dark, it will scan. That's basically it. Have fun. And the most important thing is to remember not to overlap your drop circles and to know when to move on to a different area because you're not getting any claims. Oh, before I forget, the run menu displays your current stats for the run. Hit ratio 25%. Now you can see I dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 single drops, or 6 dual drops, and 3 out of 12 is 25%. So my hit ratio is 25%. Now typically on Arc you'll get 27 to 30. That's probably a decent hit ratio. Anything over 30 is excellent, and anything below, say, 26, probably, you need to think about moving to a different area. But again, you need to drop a number of probes to get a nice average hit ratio. So that wraps it up. Thanks for watching, and have fun mining.